All right. Hey everyone, welcome to day 41. Today is the final session of the Frontend Bootcamp by Devsnest. I'm Gaurav, and today we'll begin by learning about Suspense component provided by React. So, uh, good evening to all of you. You guys will be missed as well. Let's wrap up today's session and then we'll uh, chat, all right? So this is the documentation provided by React with regards to Suspense. So it is basically a component that allows us to, display a fallback component till, the children of that component have been loaded. So for example, we have this, a component for showing the blog posts, and there is a component related to comments associated with those blogs, right? So you can wrap that inside a suspense component, which is comments, and you can provide a fallback component, and it will show that fallback component till comments have been loaded. Okay, till the time that component is being loaded. All right. So the thing that there are various use cases uh, where you can use suspense, but one of the most important use cases is related to lazy loading, right? So we can lazily load components with the help of the suspense. Now, what does it mean to lazy load? So generally, whenever you have a website, right? So we were building the Netflix clone, and it had a lot of different components like the banner component and different pages like browse, login, logout, profiles page, and so on. So when a website is loaded for the first time, uh, all of the resources are downloaded, right? All of the JavaScript files, all of the CSS files, HTML, and everything, all of that is downloaded. But with the help of lazy loading, what we can do is we can only load the content that we need at a particular point in time. All right. So let's try and implement the lazy loading part of Suspense in our Netflix clone. So let me just open the code. All right, and here we are, localhost 5173, and we can see this is our Netflix clone, right? And before we, or is it giving us some invalid property? Fine, we look into that. But the thing that I really wanted to show you guys is the networks page. Let me zoom this for you guys. Let's do a reload. And here, if you see, suppose we filter by .tsx files. So we can see we have all of the files which are present in our project, which is main, app, auth, layout, loader. Whenever we're doing, whenever the website is being rendered, it is loading all of the files which are related to project, right? But we do not actually need all of these files, right? For example, when we are on the profiles page, all we need is the profiles, the components related to the profiles page, right? So let's take a look at uh, how we can lazily load all of these with the help of Suspense. So this is our code, and we'll go to app, and we'll use the combination of routing and suspense to pull this off. So the first thing that we will do is, instead of the route provider, right, we will use say react dot suspense, and we will wrap the route provider inside this. Okay. And this also accepts a fallback. So we will provide the fallback component as the loader. So till the time it's trying to load the contents, we will be seeing the loader, all right. And then what we will do is, instead of getting all of these components directly, we will be lazily loading them. So in order to do that, we will make use of the lazy function provided by Suspense. So let's make a slight change over here. Suppose we want to lazily load the browse page, okay? So what we will do here is that we'll create a variable. Let me zoom it for you guys. Say browse, and it equals lazy. Okay, and we just need to replace the import from with just this import function and pass the path in brackets. And what this will do is it will lazily load this file and store it in this variable. So the usage will remain same as it was over here, right? The only difference would be that now this page would be lazily loaded, and let's make this change for rest of the pages as well. All right. So here also we will make the change. And instead of this, we will say const equals, and we will say lazy. Let's get rid of this, and instead of the from, we will get rid of this and say import, open the bracket and close it like this. All right, and let's also do this for this component also. So here we will have const, and this equals lazy. This accepts a callback function, and we give it the path from where we want to import. All right. And yeah, all of the code will be is already available on GitHub. I just need to push the code related to the Netflix clone, and I'll share the path with you guys as well. Once we're done with today's session, I'll share all the links, okay, in the chat. Um, yeah, so this is what we have done. We have lazily loaded all of these. Let me just organize all the usings. All right, and let's come over here. Let's come to the networks page. Let's do a refresh now. Okay. And you can see the files are much less compared to before. So we have main, we have app, because app has all the information about routing. Then we need the profiles context for this page. We have the loader, we have the profiles, and all of only these, only those components which were needed for rendering this page basically. Suppose we come over here, right, and let's sign out. Let's do a refresh right now. So you can see when we are on the login page, right, so we have even fewer files which have been loaded, which is main, app, auth, profiles, context, loader, and login. Okay, so only the components which are needed by that page, only those components are loaded. Now suppose we log in right now. Okay, let me clear all of this, and let's now you can see that only the code which was needed by this page that was lazily loaded. Let me clear this now. We'll go inside the browse view, and now it is loading the remaining files which are needed. The advantage of this is that you know you are not loading the entire website. uh, you don't need to load the entire website over here, and uh, only the files which are needed, those are loaded. And the startup time of the website, right, the time that it takes to show the first page correctly, that time is significantly reduced when we do something like this. Okay, and similarly, let's come inside the browse page, and here also what we will do is, um, for the browse page, till the time it is loading the it's loading everything, we'll put this inside suspense as well. So react.suspense, and we will move this, we'll provide the fallback component, and we'll be showing the loader over here as well. All right, so now what this is doing is, till the time everything has been loaded, it will show the loader over here. Okay, so this is what you can do, with the help of suspense. So till the time the component has been rendered completely, you can show a fallback component, and once the component is ready to be seen, we can it will automatically show the content and stop showing the fallback component. And yeah, we will not be covering Lighthouse and page speed in this session. It is something I feel that you guys can, focus on your own as you go ahead, because there are a lot of things that we'll be learning. That we have learned, and you guys need to master those. There are topics like SEO and rendering first, uh, meaningful paint, and all of those things. Those are some things which you guys can pick up later on. I wanted to focus on the things which are needed more practically, right, to get you familiar with development, make you familiar with React. Let's see, there is, I don't know why this sound issue is happening since the past few sessions. Okay. Hopefully it's not breaking now. Uh, all right. So this was the part related to lazy loading and the suspense component. There are quite a lot of topics which I would recommend that you guys also check out on your own, such as the use callback hook, right? Uh, Go through the website. I'll share the link with you over here in the chat, and go through this, go through all of the different callbacks. We have covered quite a lot of them, but uh, because the major ones I have covered, like context and effect, state, memo, reducer, but there are still a few which we have not covered. So I would recommend that you guys try and do those on your own. Okay. All right. Let's move on to working on the portfolio. Just give me a sec. I don't know why this voice break thing is happening. Is it better now? or is it still breaking? You can let me know if it's better than before. All right, give me a moment. Let me close this. All right. Okay, so we are done with the part related to the suspense. Now, it's been a while since we last worked on our portfolio. So let's work on that now. So this is where, let me close all of this. Let's load the portfolio over here. So this is where we had left it off, right? We had some basic information and we had implemented the light and dark theme, right? So let's work on this part now. Okay. Um, we'll go to hero icons, and the first thing that we'll do is we'll add the proper icons. So let's search for light. So we have this sun icon. Let's copy the SVG. All right. And let's create a file light.svg. Let's paste the SVG here. And let's get rid of this class. And we will give the stroke to white. All right. Then let's search for dark, and let's create a file for that now, dark.svg. All right, and let me paste this over here. Okay. The next thing that we'll be doing is let's come to the CSS for this, and let's create. So this was the button, right? Where is it? Theme switcher. So this was the button where we were displaying this text, right? Dark and light. Okay. So let's style this button right now. So we'll give this a cursor pointer. Height of 3 rem. By the way, is the voice clear now or is it still breaking? And let's give it a background which is transparent. Outline we will set to none. and border also we will set to none. So this is what it will look like. Let's come over here inside the theme file. Okay, just give me one more sec. All right. Let me know if there is any improvement in the voice. Uh, if there is, I apologize. I really tried to fix it. It was working in the test sessions. There were no breaks, but I don't know what's going on. Anyways, you guys can try and focus on the code. Uh, okay. So here, what we will do is, so we had this logic, right? Earlier we were showing the text dark and light. So instead of this here, what we will do is we'll do theme switcher dot inner HTML. And in case you do not have the link for the portfolio, what we can do is I'll share the link with you guys over here in the chat. This is where we had all the changes till before. And now what we will do is we will set the inner HTML to blank, and we will get the image that we need. So we will create the image document dot create element, and we will create the image using the image tag, and then we will give this a source. So if the theme is dark, then we give it the light file. So we will give the path to light.svg. Since it's at this same level, that is why we're giving this. And here, otherwise, we will say dark.svg. All right. Okay. And then we will say image.id equals theme icon and theme switcher dot append child image. All right. So we can see right now we're in the light mode. That is why we're seeing this moon. And when I click on this, we are seeing the sun icon, right? So this is to switch between these two. Let's make some more style related changes. Let's search for the, let me position this here. And here we have default nav. And we will also say align items to the center so that these are all appearing in the same line. Okay. And here for the visited state, right? We will say text decoration. We will say underline. Actually, not for this one. whenever we are hovering on this, we will say text decoration underline, right? So this is what we wanted to achieve. Then the next thing that we want to do is we want to display um, all of the projects that we have built so far. So we'll be adding a section for that now. But before we do that, let's make another change. Let's increase the size for the social links. So let's search for it, social links. Instead of 20, let's make this as 30. And another thing that we'll be doing is we have this, right? Uh, the card, and we have all of these effects, right? So let's take them out from the card and create separate classes for the box shadow and the transition effect. So what we will do is you'll create another class, call it as shadow, and the logic that we had related to box shadow, we will move it here, and then we will say shadow on hover. We will basically use this effect, right? And similarly, let's make another one for the transition. So we'll call that as move Y. And here we will basically take this and we will say move Y on hover. We want to basically translate. So we no longer need this. And let's add these classes to our card. So we will have, along with the card, we have the shadow as well as the move Y class. So you can see that it is having this effect now, and we'll do the same for the others as well. So we have this effect because we'll be adding some more cards over here for the projects that we'll be adding over here, right? The projects that we have built in the course, let's add those to our portfolio. Okay. So for that, what we will do over here, we have all of these sections, right? So let's create a section over here and let's give a heading projects, and we have another section. Let's give it a class projects list, and we have another section which has the project class. Okay. And did I misspell this section? And here we will have another section for the image. So we'll be showing some image for the project. So we'll have an image container which will have the image tag, and then we will have the title over here. So for example, the Netflix clone, and we will have a description, Netflix clone built using React, Tailwind, and headless UI. Okay, and let's have a UL over here. It will have a li and a anchor tag. So we'll be having a link for the demo of the thing and for the source code. Okay, so we have this structure ready for us. Let me go to mm, Netlify, and here we have these images, right? And I'm doing this, uh, just for reference. You can, download the images on your own. Okay, so let's try and see what this is. So over here we have this screenshot and we have this over here. And from here, let's just copy this URL. Let's just open this from here. So I'll use this for example, but you can use some other image. You can download image. You can take a screenshot from your computer and use that image instead. I'm just doing this for a reference right now. So we can see we have the image and the title, the description, and the demo and source code, right? Just give me a sec. So the live link, let's take that as well. So this was the link. Let's copy this. And the demo, for the demo link, we will add this. And the source code I have not published yet. So for now, I'll just leave it as blank. Okay. Now let's style this part. Let's create a new CSS file, projects.css, and let's style this. So we have the projects and we have the projects list. We will say display is grid, and we will say grid template columns repeat. We will use the autofill property, and we are going to say whatever is the min and the maximum between 300 pixels and one fraction. Pick that value as the size of each column, and we will use a gap. So we will say var spacing regular. All right, then we need to include this style over here. So after this, we will have the projects.css file. And another thing that we will do here is that projects, the image, right? We will load it lazily. Okay. And here, let's change the width for this to say 400 so that the resolution is slightly better. Okay. Then for the projects and the projects list and for the project itself, we will give a padding and spacing regular. Overflow we will set to hidden, and we will give a border radius, and this will also have the regular spacing. And for the projects and within that the project, and inside that the image container, we will give a margin left. uh, we'll use the calc function because we want to give a negative margin, but wait a sec, we'll come back to this. Let me save all of this first, and let's define the styling for the image first. So projects, within that we select the project, and the image inside that, the width is going to be 100%, height is going to be auto, and we will say display to block. Okay, let me just check once if the structure and the classes are correct. So we have the project list. Hang on a second, I need to give this an ID. Project. All right. Projects list, project image container. Let's give this a class over here. Let's call this as links. All right. Now let's go back to the styling part. So we have this ready, right? And here also for the project, we will give it the, what do you say, the shadow class, right? So it has this shadow over here right now, as you can see. And let's also make this move in the y direction whenever we are hovering over this. And the other thing that we want to do is for the project, let's use the transition property, and let's give it the same effect as that of the card. Let's copy this and paste it here. So it has the same effect, right? Okay. Now what we want is that this image, it should, spread outwards. So for that we will give this a negative margin. So -1 times var uh, spacing regular. So this is moving it towards the left, and similarly we want to do this for the right. So this image is now stretching, and let's also do that for margin top, because we have given over here a padding, right? Because of this padding, it was, having that gap, but now we no longer have that. Okay, and let's also give a, I think this is good for now. And here we will say another thing that we will do is, let's also define the size of the row. So grid auto rows, and it will have min max of 250 pixels and one fraction. All right. Okay. So this is what we have right now. This is what it is going to look like. Okay, and here what we will do is let's add some more styling. So projects, and we want to work on this links part. Okay, and sorry, projects project dot links, and within this we have the li and then the anchor tag. You'll say display flex, and even before we do that, here also we are going to say display flex, uh, list style as none, and use a gap. You don't need a gap, actually. We'll say justify content space between, something like this, and we will set the padding to 0. So now both of these are appearing in two different sides, and similarly we will also say align items towards the center. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's come over here. So we have this GitHub icon, right? Let's inspect this element and copy this element. Let's create a file over here, github.svg, paste this element which we copied, and come over here, copy this line XML namespace. Let's go back to this file, add this here, and we will say fill equals gray. Okay, all right, and let's do one more thing. Let's come back to this part here. Now here what we will do is we will add a image tag, and we will say github.svg, github, or rather octo cat image, and let's give this a size. So it's 30 and height 30. Interesting. Okay, just give me a sec. We'll work on this with the styling part of this. Projects. Okay. We will say, we will come over here, we'll search for the projects and then the project and the links, and within that the image tag, we will basically set the width to 30 pixel and the height to 30 pixel. Okay, so this is what we have right now. And now let's style this part. We'll say align items towards the center. We'll give a gap so that there's a gap between this image and this, and we will say var spacing. What were the other variables? uh, Small. Okay, and after that we will say color inherit, not column, color inherit, and we will say text decoration, we will set it to none. And whenever we are hovering over this, right, in that case what we want to do is we want to say color text secondary. Hang on a sec, let's go to styles.css. Okay, it should be not text secondary but secondary color. So we had used custom css properties for that when we were working on it the last time. Okay, so now whenever we are hovering over this, it is having this color, and also we'll say text decoration, we'll set it to underline. All right, so we have done it for one project. What we will do now, we will create a JavaScript file, and we will, once we have this structure ready, so we will create a JavaScript file, projects, and we will dynamically create this section for the project. So projects.js, so we will have const projects equals, this is going to be an array, and we will have the titles. So for example, the first one is the Netflix clone, then there's going to be a description. Let's copy the description that we had set over here. One sec. So this is our description. Then we will have a cover URL. Let's copy this from here. This is the cover URL, and then we'll give a demo link, and we will have the source code, or we can just say source link. All right, so this is the demo link. All right, and similarly, let's copy this, add another one over here. This one is going to be the e-commerce app, and I have the description ready with me. I'll just copy this from here. Okay, and we will have another one for the Spotify clone. And this is the cover URL for that. Though, so the same way how I had got the uh, URL for this image, I have a similar URL over here for this as well. All right. So we have these three over here, and we had also built the weather app. So let's add that over here as well. Weather app, and it was, and I have the description for that over here as well. Okay. So we have some projects with us. Now what we will do is we'll create a function load projects, and we will say const projects list. We will get that element, so we are going to say document dot query selector projects dot projects list. Once we have that element, we will get this element, and we will basically append, create the structure that we have over here and generate it programmatically. So this is the part which we need to generate programmatically. So I'll cut this out from here. All right. And let me paste this here for reference. Let's comment this out. And we will say let inner HTML that is equal to blank, and then we will use a loop for const project of projects inner HTML plus equals, let's put this text over here. Let's uncomment this. Let's destructure this. We have the title, description, cover, demo link, and the source link. So instead of this, we will have the cover URL. This over here, the title of the project will come, and this one is for the description, and this one is for the demo link, and then this one is for the source link. All right. Let's add the source link for the projects that we have already pushed to GitHub. So this is the source link for the e-commerce app, And then this is the one for the Spotify clone. And I'll also share the links with you guys over here in the chat. Okay, give me a sec. So this one is for the Spotify clone. Then this one is for the, wait, I gave you the demo link, not the GitHub link. Right, so this is for the Spotify clone. And this one is for the e-commerce app. And let's visit the page for the weather app. Let's search over here for streams. So this was the weather app. All right, so this is the link for that. Okay, so we have all the links ready. Then once we are done with this, what we want to do is we just say projects list dot inner html equals inner html. And once the document has been loaded, so we will listen to the document dot add event listener dom content loaded. Once this happens, we basically want to load the project, so we will call this function, and we also need to include the script. So after all of this, let's add the script for the projects. And let's come back over here. So we have this. Something broke. 1 second. Projects.js section. Okay. So you can see that we have all of these links available. You can show the proper image over here. And when we go to the demo, right, it's loading the demo. Wait, where is the demo link for the, let's go to Netlify. Okay, we never loaded that, but wait a sec. Localhost 5500. Let's do a refresh. And if we go to the source code over here, it should open the source code page for us, right? And another thing that we'll be doing is let's set the target to underscore blank so that these links open on a new page. Let's try this now. So let's click on demo, and this is open that. Wait, where is the demo link? Let's go to Netlify, login. And this was the demo link for the Spotify clone. Let's copy this and let's paste this over here. Okay, so it has opened the Spotify clone, and similarly add the link for the weather app and work on that part. Right, so our cards are ready. We will do another thing. We will go inside the projects, and instead of autofill we will use autofit. All right, so based on the available screen width, it will try and show the text and fill up the remaining space. Okay, all right, so we have all of this ready, and let's go to the navigation part right now, and we will add the link for the projects, and here we will say projects. Similarly, let's copy this. Rather, let's copy this and add a link for the projects over here also. So we have this, and when we go to the projects, it scrolls to the projects part. Okay, and so this is working as well. And another thing that we will do is we'll style this contact me section also. So for that, we'll go to this side, undraw. We'll go on browse, and we will search for the list. Wait, search. So let me give this link to you guys in the chat. Let's search for mail. So we have this mailbox available. You can basically download either the SVG or the PNG version of it. So I've already done that, but I wanted to show this link to you guys. And let me add that downloaded image over here. Okay. And let's come to the contacts section. So here we will create another section over here, which is going to have uh, a section for contact image, and then we will move this forms part also inside this section. Let's give this a class contact container. Okay, this will have the image tag, and it will have undraw mailbox, and it will have image for mailbox. This is the text. So we can see that we have this image now. Okay, let's come over here back to styles.css. Let's make some changes. Contact. Okay, so we for this we will set the width to 100%, and the part where we created the contact me and the contact container, right? Let me open this side by side so guys, so that you guys can see the changes over here. We will say display flex. Okay, so they are appearing side by side, and we'll give this a padding var spacing regular, flex wrap. We'll give a gap, spacing regular, and we will say justify content in the center and align items in the center. Okay, all right. Then for the contact img, we are going to say max width for this is 400 pixels, and contact image, and inside that for the image tag we will set the width to 100% and the height to auto. Okay, then the other thing that we want to do is we want to get rid of this for the from the form contact, and we don't need this either, and we will set the display to flex and the flex direction to column, and we will give a gap over here, and we will say spacing regular, so there is even it is evenly spaced. All right, and in terms of the structure, another change we want to make, so this heading now comes over here. Let's make this the h2 tag, right? And um, form contact label and all of this. Okay, and let's copy this for the contact button. Let's give it an outline of none, border of none, cursor we will set to pointer, and background color we will use the secondary color, so it looks like this, and we will say color white. Okay, all right. Also say this takes up the majority of the space. Okay, one more thing. um, Contact button, let's see how this is playing out. Let's get rid of the max width property and also margin auto from here. All right, so this is what this section is looking like now. right? And if we go into the mobile version of this, let's say iPhone 10, let's do a refresh. So this is what the site is looking like right now, right? So we have this. Let's go to the projects part. It is showing us all the projects. You have the technology section, and then you have the contact me section. Okay, so with this, this is kind of looking at the qualifications and the hobbies part. Let's take these two sections and put them after the technologies, and also change the order over here. So qualifications and hobbies will come after this, and similarly qualifications and hobbies will move from here and add them after technologies. Okay, so here you have uh, all the things ready. You can style this on your own as you like, but all of the other things are done. Okay, so we are done with the portfolio and the projects that we have worked on. We have added the demo links, a screenshot, and so on. You can also elaborate this part further. You can add React, Vite, and all of those things. As you progress further, you can add on this, style it better, make it much more better. Um, so this is it for the session. Um, just wanted to share a few things with you guys before we end this. So I have covered all the things that I wanted to cover for this bootcamp. There are still a lot of things which are there, and I encourage that you guys, build more projects, complete the ones which we have completed, and add more functionality. But try to do, build such projects like the Netflix clone. Maybe you create a Twitter clone or something else, but try to do it on your own. Try to do the research on your own, because right now I was guiding you. um, when you do it on your own, you will get stuck, you will face a lot of challenges. When you overcome all of those challenges on your own, you will gain confidence and you will have the clarity to code. Okay, another thing is, whenever you go to GitHub and you search for Devsnest, so just search for to find all the code related to whatever we have learned, right? The regular sessions, just search for streams. So this is the repository which has all the day-wise code. Okay. I just need to update it with the sessions which we covered uh, today and yesterday. All right. And I also need to add the Netflix clone, but it will not be added here. Um, and basically, you can search for this term DN3. All right. So all the repositories related to this are available over here. So over here we have the code for the e-commerce app. And if you look at any of these, so here we have all of the branches, right? So whatever we did on day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4, so on. So we have day wise branches also. So you can follow along the video which is there, the YouTube session, and you can basically come to this branch and see all the things that we had built on that day. And basically master has all the merged code, and I've been following the same convention for all of the projects basically. So even when we are at the the Spotify clone, So here also we have all the day wise branches or the feature wise branches. So dashboard, playlist, login, main, and so on. So these are all in sync with the sessions that we had. And here are the instructions. This is the YouTube link, right? The deployment instruction. And so uh, go through the README for all of the projects. It has all the instructions. Okay. And just search for DN3 once again, and you'll find the link for the Netflix clone as well. Okay. And the portfolio. So Devsnest 3.0 portfolio, this one is available in this repository. All right. So we have this as well, and we have the deployment instructions and how to submit the forms. All of that is available as well. All right. So this is it from my end. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed the sessions that we had, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your projects. Do tag me, uh, and you can for all the projects that you do, and tag Devsnest as well. The details about the profiles are all in the description of this video. And if you have any more doubts, any more queries, you can reach out to me on Discord or on my social media accounts. Uh, yeah, so that's it. We learned quite a lot of things. So we started with the basics on day one, where we learned about the meta tags and so on. And then today here we are at on day 41. And yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. I hope you guys had a wonderful time as well. So there's a question in the chat: will we see you in the future? Yeah, you will see me in the future. There's a different teacher for the backend part, but yeah, I'll be there. I'll be working outside the boot camp, doing a few other things. But whenever whenever you guys need me, I'll be there for you. And I'll be part of Devnest as well in the future also. Hopefully, if they reach out to me, but uh, that all depends on you guys. And I'm wishing you all the best for your job search and placement. And yeah, I'm there for you guys, so you know where to reach me. So that's it. Take care, and we'll be seeing each other, but just not tomorrow or the day after, somewhere else, or maybe in another Devsnest bootcamp. So until then, take care and bye bye. Okay. And yeah, give the same love to the next teacher who will be covering backend. All right. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your wonderful feedback and your comments. Uh, okay then. Bye bye. Take care. And we can also meet in the Discord um, Mahasabha voice channel right now if you guys have any more queries to ask. All right.